This is Performance Anxiety on the Pantheon Podcast Network, home of the Metallica Report, Metallica's official podcast. And I'm your host, Mark. And today's guest just makes me smile. It's percussionist Bonjo Iyabinghi Noah from African Head Charge. He grew up in Jamaica and began playing drums in the Rasta camps and Poco churches. And he was running away a lot and sleeping in graveyards. But music helped him get out of those bad situations. He really connected with it, and it started helping out bands as a young kid, even becoming an unofficial roadie. He eventually got a gig with the foundations of Build Me Up Buttercup fame. And all of this helped him start African Head Charge. Bonjo tells me how the band started and what African Head Charge means. He also tells me who gave him the name Bonjo. The band began as a studio project, but he was eventually asked to take his music on the road. Unfortunately, his drums were stolen and he couldn't. But that led to a great future relationship. It also led to him playing the main stage at Glastonbury. Bonjo's DIY approach and his hard work with African Head Charge sometimes unintentionally piss people off. But after years and years of hard work, Bonjo moved to Ghana and took some time off. 12 years to be precise. But now Bonjo is back with a new African Head Charge album, A Trip to Bolgatanga. It changes his sound slightly and focuses more on African drumming from Ghana. He's got some special guests on it like King Ayasoba, Skip McDonald, and Doug Wimbish. And pick it up at Bandcamp, On You Sound, or wherever you get music. Follow Bonjo at African Head Charge on social media, and check us out at Performance ANX on X, or whatever Twitter is now, and Instagram. Send us some coffee at ko-fi.com/performanceanxiety, or buy a shirt or something at performanceanx.threadless.com. Now let's get Irie with Bonjo Iyabinghi Noah of African Head Charge on Performance Anxiety on the Pantheon Podcast Network.
Okay, you ready? Yeah, man. Greetings to everyone, man, and blessing and more blessing, yes? This is Bonjo Iyabinghi Noah, African Head Charge. You know, blessed to Performance Anxiety Podcast. And big up. Yeah, man.
Wagwan, Bonjo. How you doing?
Everything blessed.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I'm really excited to speak with you about the new release and to find out a little bit about how you got into music in the first place.
Well, you asked how I got in music in the first place. I think it was just moving with musicians, you know. I went to live in this place called Nesbitt House in Hackney, and upstairs there was a singer there who was singing with people like U-Roy and all those top Jamaican artists.
Okay.
And then downstairs there's a drummer, name is Ruben, and he's playing with their backing band, backing artists like Dandy Livingstones and different people, you know.
Yeah.
But the one upstairs he was with a group called The Undivided, and they were backing up people from Bob Marley, Rico.
Wow.
All the top artists from Jamaica, you know, U-Roy, Roy Shirley, lots of them, lots of different artists that was coming over in those times. So that was the two bands that I know. Yeah, and I was moving with them. I was just moving with them because of the love that I had for music. And plus, I just came out of a situation, and it's good that I meet some different types of friends.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because sometimes, you know, if you move with the wrong crowd, you can get into trouble.
Oh, for sure.
I used to get in trouble. So when I start to move with them now, I start to go around with them, and then I become like a roadie. You know?
Oh, wow.
Because I was always like a strong person. I wasn't officially a roadie. I was just moving with them. Oh. And if anything to be lifted or anything, they'll give me. And then when the end of the night come, when 6 of them get their pay, each one would give me £5 each. Oh. So I'm getting 30 pounds. Every time there's a show, I'll get like 30 pounds. And in that time, I'm talking about in the late 70s, you know, that was a good money because I had a wife and two children to look after as well, So even if I come home and I get 30 pounds and I give my wife 25 and I'm okay,
Yeah.
So it was okay. And I was enjoying it because I was young at that time, very young. Yeah. And then one day, you asked me how I started. I'll tell you how I started. One day, I was moving with this drummer. His name is Ruben, who lived downstairs, right? And he was playing with this band called the In Brackets. And at that time, they were backing up a hit artist. His name is Dandy Livingstone. He had a hit song called Susan Beware of the Devil and so forth, all right?
Oh, wow.
And then one day, I said, we love, those days we used to have good ganja coming in from Jamaica, like Redbeard and all these good weed, So I would say I was a ganja baby, right? I never bother with coke and crack and too much alcohol and whatever, right?
Okay.
So because of that, me and Ruben, we decided that we don't want to smoke ganja in our house where women and children are.
Okay.
In his house where his women and children. So we go down to the rehearsal place. And we went there. Yes, we went to the rehearsal place. And we were there about 2 hours before the rehearsal start.
Okay.
And we smoke. I feel irie,
Right.
And then I saw there's this guy called Errol. He was a conga player in Bracket. Okay. And I saw the congos was there. It was open and everything. So I just went in the congos and started to free myself. I just started to play. and that surprised Ruben. And then later, when the rest of the musician comes in, they were also surprised as well. And then I start to say to them, listen, I was playing drums when I was 7 years old in the Rasta church in Jamaica, also in the Poco church in Jamaica, because my grandmother was the Rasta queen in Clarinda, because she was one of the Rasta vanguard from the early days of the 30s and 40s and all that time, right? And when the government of Jamaica saw the Rasta as a threat, they tried to break them up and arrest them and kill them and all kind of thing, right? So when they break Pinnacle down, which Pinnacle was the Rasta, call it the Rasta University then of Jamaica. That was where all the Rasta go and learn everything about what Rasta is all about.
Okay.
And then when they break the Pinnacle down, then my grandmother now, no, not my real grandmother, my grandmother's younger sister.
Okay.
Nana Bonchi. I call her my grandmother because she's my grandmother's sister, same mother, same family, right?
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
She's my grandmother. Yes. So, and she loved me. She had a love for me and her husband. They all loved me,
Yeah.
So when I was 7 years old, I used to go there and play the drums, play the bongo. So they used to call me Bongo when I was small, right?
Oh.
And then, so I started to make my own drums as well. I'm talking about when I was 7, 8 years old. And then me and Vernie and Howen, three of us, they chose the three of us to represent the camp as Rasta children.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So we used to play, especially on the Sabbath day, like before the Sabbath get hot, when people is coming from all over and come to my grandmother yard, because she have her own yard, and she turned the yard into a Rasta camp.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So when Saturday now, when people are coming in, before the gathering get full up, me, Vernie and Owen would play, Okay. And you find people like Ras Michael, Count Ozzy, all the great elders of Rastafari used to be there. Bongo Black, everybody. And they like me for some reason. And so they start teaching me the songs, the Nyabinghi songs, and how to play the kete, the lead drum, and the funde drum, and the thunder drum, and all those kind of things. So I was learning from I'm 7 years old. I was learning, and also there's a church up the top of the road from where we were. It's a Poco church, Poco. Okay. All right. If you don't know what Poco is is short for Poco Minia. Right?
Okay.
Yes. And it's a church that the slave brought with them from especially West Africa to Jamaica.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
And they were trying to beat that out of the people, but a few of them was still maintaining that. A few of them was still keeping up. one of them was still keeping that up.
Okay.
Poco Church.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Before you skip over this ad, give me 1 minute. Like most podcasts, I pick sponsors carefully, and I use the products that advertise here. Pure Spectrum CBD is a product that has been really beneficial for me. They have a wide variety of great products that can be used on a daily or as needed basis. I've been using the tincture every day, and it's been wonderful for easing anxiety. And I absolutely love the isolate. I use it instead of acetaminophen or ibuprofen, and it's worked so well for the relief of aches and pains. They also have soaks, lotions, salves, gummies, and more, plus an entire line for fitness recovery. They even have products for your pets. See everything they offer at purespectrumcbd.com. And if you have questions, they're there to help. They helped me when I had no idea where to start. After you fill your cart, use code PERFORMANCEANX for 15% off your purchase. Pure Spectrum CBD, Pure Spectrum CBD, Pure Spectrum CBD.
And so when I hear the drumming at the Poco play, the boom, 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 when I hear that the drumming and the heartbeat and the sound, as soon as I hear it, I'm gone up there. Even though my parents, my mom, especially my mom, who was a sound Christian, church, Nazareth Assembly, her church was, never forget. They never liked it because they thought the Poco Church was like evil people. But these people, they wasn't evil. I mean, they were spiritualists.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm talking. They were spiritualists. They would chant and chant and play the drums and chant and, it's healing. The whole thing was a healing place. Okay. Like some people say a barnyard. You're going to a barnyard. It's not like hospital. It's a place of healing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm a child, 7, 8 years old. Once I hear drums, I just love drums because as children we don't get toys. Our parents don't have money to buy us toys like this and that. So the music drums.
The music is drawing you in.
Pardon?
The music is bringing you in.
Yes, as soon as I hear the drumming, I'm gone. It doesn't matter. Even if I have to hide and go, I would go. And then if I come back, my mom would beat me because they think I'm a bad boy because I'm going to a place where, like, they call it juju or hobia or whatever it was.
Okay.
The name that they call these things.
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't see anything. All I see people playing drums, people clapping and people playing tambourine, playing this and the drum. And that was it for me. I wasn't thinking about I wasn't even thinking about healing and whatever.
Yeah.
So while I was there, I was learning a lot of the Poco drumming.
Okay.
So, I learned to play those Poco drumming and the Iyabinghi drumming from early. Wow. So when I was jamming, when I was playing in the rehearsal with me and Ruben and that so forth, all that came back to me. All that kind of drumming, it all came back to me, and I just couldn't stop playing. I must have played for about 3 hours non-stop.
Wow.
But no. I'm lying. It wasn't so long. It was about maybe 2 hours, an hour and a half. Right?
That's okay.
I was playing non-stop, you know what I mean? Because I just keep playing. And when the rest of the band start to come in gradually, they hear it. And they say, hey, they never knew that I could. And I explained to them that I've been playing this thing from I'm 6, 7 years old, 7 years, so forth. And then the guy who owned the drum, his name is Harold, right? I was like an outcast. Of the family,
Yeah.
But I'm talking about because in Jamaica, if your parents are Christian and you choose not to want to go to the church, they see you as a bad boy. They want to beat you, tie you up on a tree and beat you and all that kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
So I've been through all that kind of thing. So because of that, sometimes I had to run away and so forth.
See, okay, you'd occasionally run away.
One time they sent me to live in Kingston with my real grandmother this time. Because by then she moved from Clarendon, where I was born, where she's from, and she remarried this man called Mr. Shepherd, and he took her to Kingston. And that's how we end up moving to her place, my mom and my dad. So when I went to Kingston, they decided to send me there to go and stay there. So I went to a place called Augustown. which is one of the roughest places in Jamaica, Augusttown.
Oh,
right?
really?
And yes, and we have a place. Our place is Bedward Crescent. Bedward Crescent.
Okay.
You know, if you learn about the history of Alexander Bedward, he used to baptize people in that rock.
Oh,
no?
Okay.
There's a rock. There's a rock at the foot of the mountain, and the river is running down, and the water is coming out from under the rock. So I turned that place into a swimming pool.
Oh.
Because that's why when I ran away from home, that's where I used to go and bath.
Oh.
Because what happened? They wanted to send, when I went to Kingston, they wanted to send me to some Catholic church. Mm-hmm. And I think the Catholic people, because I had a very strong voice when I was small, very high and very strong, stronger than most normal boys my age.
Okay.
Very big and strong. You know? So I think they wanted me to be a part of the choir in the Catholic, and I didn't really want to. This time I'm 11 years old now, and I didn't feel like. In fact, I was a bit scared. Oh. Because of all the statues. I see all these big statues of Mary and Jesus, you know, white statues. And as a child, it scared me. No, it wouldn't scare me now. But I mean, as a child, it did scare me to see all these white statues.
Sure.
I'm coming from the country and I don't know about those things. It scare me, you know. So because of that, I had to run away from home there again. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And go and sleep under people's house. And then I used to go and sleep in the graveyard.
Oh,
you know, because I sleep. Yeah, man, I used to go and sleep in the graveyard, man.
Wow.
In Augusttown. And then I went and bath in Bedward Hole in the morning, go and pick ackee in the hills, Warwicker Hill there.
Oh,
and then,
wow.
And come. That was a good hustler. Go and pick the ackee, sell it to the woman, and the woman give me money, and then I could, cook that you use. So I was a good hustler when I was 11. So I didn't, but school, no. And then later, my grandmother, my auntie, who I love, because by this time, my mom and dad is in England.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And they left us with people who didn't really care for me.
Oh, wow.
They didn't care. So my auntie, the only person that really cared for me is my mother, sister, auntie, Anne Stivey.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And she came and she bring me back. She bring me back to Clarendon, which I was happy about there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the Rasta campaign, I was able to, you know, do all my drumming and whatever. And they said I'm Ethiopian.
Oh.
That's what they said. Me, Vernie, and Owen, you're called Ethiopians. So the big men, they tell us, we don't even know what they're talking about. You understand? Ethiopians and Rastafari and all kind of thing, you know? We just know about these drums. It's the drums and the chant. Later, I get to learn more about the whole thing, you know?
Oh, okay.
And the head of that organization, he wasn't the head, but he came there from Kingston when he was fighting with the government and all that. He's a guy called Reverend Claudius Henry. You can Google his name, Reverend Claudius Henry.
I have heard of him.
Number one Rasta.
I'm familiar with the name, yeah.
Right. You Google him. So he become like my grandfather as well.
Wow.
You know, and then it's him that started teaching me about what Rasta is all about later. But by then is when I get older. And I came to England. I went back to Jamaica. I went to Bethel. This time we built a church at this place, Green Bottom in Clarendon, Maypen side.
Okay.
I went there, and you know, it taught me a lot of things. We don't have time to tell you all the things that I went through. You know.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately.
so through that, the thing about it, that's how my music starts. It starts because when I hear the drums, and when I go to my grandmother Rasta church, you know, and I just love the drumming and the chanting, and they turned us into a group and called us the Ethiopians. So we used to have a group in Clarendon called the Clarendonians with Freddie McGregor.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you heard of Freddie McGregor?
Yes.
All right. Freddie McGregor was the main person in the Clarendonians, yes?
Okay.
So the Clarendonians were representing, and we, as the Ethiopians, were representing. So we went and sing the song, what the Rasta man teach us to play, you know? And that's when I met the Scatterlights, Danjo Man, and all those kind of people. Although I didn't really have much to talk about with them. I just saw them and met them and whatever. It was a big competition going on, and a lot of the young singers like Freddie and a lot of these young up and coming, they were there. So that's how the whole thing came. As I said, I got involved in music because I'm living somewhere where there's a singer upstairs and a drummer downstairs. Yeah. The drummer name is Ruben. And then from I buy my drums, I decided, well, I didn't learn any trade. I didn't go to school. I didn't learn carpenter, bricklaying, or nothing. I didn't learn anything. So when I find that people like my drumming, then I decided, I took it serious. I said, this is it. I just start to practice 3, 4, 5 hours every day. Practice. I used to put on Fela Kuti. Mm-hmm. I used to put on all these Bongo Santa Maria. I already know about the Poco drumming and the Iyabinghi drumming, Yeah. So I used to start to listen to Asibisa. The guy, Asibisa guy did a solo. I tried to practice it and play. Because at one time I used to just hustle. When I say hustle, if I see there's an audition going somewhere in the middle of Jamaica, mm-hmm. and they're looking for a Congo player to play in a pub or something like that,
yeah.
I'll audition for it, and sometimes I'll get it, and sometimes it's just me and a guitarist and a keyboard player.
Oh, wow.
Just like that. And sometimes there's a band playing. It's a jazz band. They're playing jazz. I've never played jazz in a band before. So me, I was brave. I decided to go, and they gave me the job. And in jazz, you have to do a solo.
Oh.
So the day when I'm going to play, I remember putting Atibisa music on for about 8-9 hours, just playing that solo, practicing that solo. And so we used to play 100 Club, which is a jazz club in London here, long before, a longer time before I got involved with the reggae vibes and all that kind of.
Okay.
And I did this also, and I was so happy with myself. There's not a lot of money in it. If you get 5 or 6 or 10 pounds, you're okay. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it was just the money, it's just a feeling that when I did this thing, people love it, and they appreciate what I was doing, and I feel so good. Yeah, man. So that's how the whole thing started. And then after that, Desmond Dekker. Mm-hmm. That time, Desmond Dekker had some hit songs. Oh, the Israelites and Hitmek, 007 and all that hit song. I think he was the first Jamaican artist who had, I think, 3 number 1 hit songs in so I don't know where he heard of me, because sometimes name goes around. There's this guy, Bonjo Iyabinghi. So I work with him, and he was encouraging me to sing. Where a lot of people didn't like my voice, because my voice was kind of a chanting voice.
Yeah.
But then don't look at have me singing, oh, this that deep voice.
Yeah.
So he was like a big brother. He was like a big brother to me, and then the Foundations came. They had the hit song called "Why Did You Build Me Up, Bill?" I went on. Because the thing about me, once I hear something, I will play it.
Oh,
I think that's it. I hear it. You play the drums, a drum pattern, and I hear it. I will repeat what I hear. That's what it is. That's all it is.
So because of that, by ear. You pick it up by ear pretty naturally.
Yes. Once I hear it, our Congo player play it and say, "This is what I want you to play," and then I'll play it. And it was just like that. It was so simple, just like that. And it goes into my head, and my hands just play it. My hands are playing it, right?
Oh my God!
So that's how I was able to work. That's how I was able to work with the Foundations, and then Prince Farah came.
You're actually the second person I've had on the podcast who played with the Foundations.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I had Ivan Julian, who played guitar with them for a little while.
Okay.
So that's right. Amazing.
I would like to meet him one day, because I can tell you a lot of stories about him, Clem Curtis and all these people. Right? But anyway, man. So it was just going on. I'm not really making any money as much as that. I had a young family to look after. I have a woman, 2 children, and all that. So it was difficult, but I took it serious. I took the drumming so serious that I'm saying, well, now I'm in a university. That's what I said to myself. I'm in school.
Yeah.
I'm practicing all style of music that's the reason why when you listen to African head charts, you hear so many different styles. Because I listen to different style, and once you learn it, it's inside you. It doesn't come out. It comes out when you need it to come out. It just come out.
Right. Yeah.
You practice something 10, 20 years ago or whatever, 30 years ago. Later, something happens, you find yourself playing it, and it fits the project that you're working on.
So it's inside you that whole time, just waiting for the right moment.
Yes, it was inside. Yeah. And I give thanks to that because I never knew I was going to make it as a career. I never knew that drumming was going to be what I was doing in Jamaica in the Rasta church and the Poco church. I never knew that it was going to be a career out of it. I never knew.
That's incredible. So how did African Head Charge start? And is there a meaning to the name? What does the name African Head Charge mean? How did you come up with that?
Well, for me, I'm African. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though I was born in Jamaica and I've traveled around and here, but my roots is African.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously, as a drummer, you feel like you are the head. Because a drummer is a person who sends messages everywhere. You know what I mean? You say drumming is a language, right?
Yes.
Especially the African drumming. Different tribes have different languages and different types of drumming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And charge is just that, I feel fully charged within myself. It's like being equipped then as a drummer. Being equipped.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. Okay. How did you meet Adrian Sherwood?
All right. How I met Adrian Sherwood was, I want to tell you exactly what it went. What happened was, there's this guy come from Jamaica, right? His name is, he had a hit song called I Have Cocaine Running Around, Dillinger.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. He had a big hit in some time ago, right? In the 70s. I Have Cocaine Running Around. And so somehow my name get around that there is a Congo player here who is good, right? So somebody called me and said, hey, I'm Dillinger's manager, and we're here. We want you to come and see us. By then, the drums that I bought, the second-hand drum that I bought, it got stolen. I didn't have no drums anymore, no more.
No.
All right. So I went down and I see him and I explained to him, said, listen, I'd love to do the tour. Because that time Dillinger was touring France, Germany, Italy, Belgium, France, all those places.
Oh, wow.
Even before the German wall came down, Dillinger was touring there.
Oh, wow.
I went to those places before the wall came down. Anyway, I told him I don't have any drums. And his office was somewhere in Labrador Grove. And across the road somewhere, it's just the whole thing is fate, right? Mm-hmm. There's a drum shop across the road. We have some nicest percussionists, nicest percussion.
Okay.
All the percussion that I've never seen before,
Yeah.
So I think. And the man said that the boss of Dillinger, who was a very rich man, right? Mm-hmm. He said, go in that place and anything you want, just take it.
Wow. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
So I went in there and I was like a little child in a sweetie factory. Everything I see, I say, how you do this? And I got to I say, hey, you play like this, you do this, you do this. I mean, I learn quick, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I love that one. And because I'm not taking no money out of my pocket,
right.
I'm just taking everything that I like. and it came up to a lot of money. And I wasn't even thinking what I was just taking them. So I went on tour with Dillinger. When I came back, I realized half of my money went because the man took the money out for all the equipment that I took. But it was okay. I still have a little money still, and and I had all these drums. The drummer in that band is a guy called Foxy. We don't call him Muscom because the thing is when I'm on tour, anywhere I'm going, he's with me. We're like twins, we're close. We're in a foreign country, and I don't want to go out the street without having somebody to walk with me, anything like that. So everywhere we go. So that's why they call it must come. Because they say anywhere Bonjo go, he must come. Must come. So
Okay.
all right, and must come. And that band was called Freedom Fighter. And then Charlie was also working in Creation Rebel with Creation Rebel.
Oh, okay.
So he brought me over and introduced, they introduced me to the band, and I like the band. There's a dub band, and Adrian was the one that was mixing the band. I was involved with the band and everything. So that's why I met Adrian. I met Adrian through joining Creation Rebel.
Okay. So how did you start working together? I mean, did he approach you, or did you talk to him about making music together?
Okay, what happened was, Adrian was mixing, learning to mix in those days.
Okay.
And so forth and so on. And I used to support him, even though sometimes people used to fight against him, because I mean, you're learning, you must make mistakes.
Right.
You must mess things up. But me, I'm the kind of person, if somebody is trying, and even if they're making a mistake, you still have to support them and encourage them.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing with Adrian. And I think that's why one reason why he liked me as well. And I was like, Cloud and Rasta, we'll fuck up the thing, man. You do that, somebody do something and you get excited and curse them out. But I didn't do that. I was trying to, because I saw that he wanted to do something. You know what I mean? It was serious. So because of that, I become close to him. In fact, I was like a big brother to him. That's the truth.
Oh, wow.
He used to come to my house. He used to meet all the people where I know. I teach him how to cook the Jamaican way and all kind of thing. You know, we're very close in those days.
Oh, that's
all right.
awesome.
Prince Farai died. We used to back up Prince Farai, right? That band, Creation, who was Prince Farai back in band. And he died. I think it was about 1981 or something.
Okay.
But before that, me and Adrian used to book the studio in Berry Street in Shoreditch area, right? Mm-hmm. A studio is called Berry Street. The street is called Berry Street, so the studio we call it Berry Street Studio.
Makes sense.
He used to book it at night. Where it is cheap.
Yeah.
When I say cheap, like if it was like £10 an hour, you most probably get it for 5 or 4 or 3 or some ridiculous price, right?
Right.
You know, because nobody's using it. So you get it. So it's, me and Adrian alone is in the studio. Nobody else. Just the two of us alone. Adrian is in the control room where you mix and this and that. I'm in the workroom with my congos and all these so much different percussion that I had, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'll put something down. A beat, and then I put another thing on top of the beat, and another thing, and all kind of things. I just keep building up until I have it will sound like there's 10 drummers playing, but it's just me, right?
Right.
Double tracking.
Yes.
And then after that, now we will go and put other things on. You know, I remember one track we call it Stembenny's theme.
Yes.
Right? I had a friend, a woman friend. Her name is Stembenny. She's from Zimbabwe or something. And she came with me to the studio one day, and I started to play this beat. And then she started to sing, te 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 tambla, te te tambla, and it fit with the beat that I'm playing. So we didn't even put up a mic, and she was singing. She was standing right behind me, singing, chanting that beat. We didn't set up a mic for her or nothing. She just started to sing that. And then she sing it, and then I would answer her. She said, and I would answer her. And so we just capture everything as it was, as it came. So that's the first album, My Life in the Hole in the Ground.
Right, yeah.
That I did with it. And the reason why we call it My Life in the Hole in the Ground, because that studio was under the ground. Underground. Like under. Like you go in and you have to go down under.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why we call it My Life. We spend a lot of time there. We'll go there from, say, about 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the night, right? I would leave there till 6, 7, 8 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's what it was. That's how I was spending my life in the old Negro. I was spending a lot of time.
Wow.
So that's where it all started, you know. I just put on a lot of percussion. So because of that, that's why African Head Charge is percussion led, you know, it's mainly we do everything, we start everything but with the percussion.
Did the music stay mostly in the studio, or did you guys play live much early on, or was it mostly studio?
We didn't play live. Let me tell you something. We didn't play live. No. We were just in the studio. Okay. At that time, I'm doing little work with session works. You know, like a Prince Farai came, or if anyone come and then I'm in the backing band. Then I was also working in schools, like doing schools workshop, which I still love to do. Working, you know, getting all these children together, right? Letting them sit down, 10 or 12 children, give them all something to hit. Yeah. You know, some is playing sticks, some playing tambourines, and then we come up with something, and it's so rhythmical and nice, and the children, them enjoying it. So I always loved doing that kind of job. You know, I always loved doing that. So, all right, I was doing that, and I didn't bother to tour with it or nothing like that. I was just happy doing the workshops and the occasional session work and so forth.
Right.
And then, but one day, how the whole thing started is my brother, Barent, right? Mm-hmm. He was in Switzerland.
Oh.
Is it Switzerland? No, sorry, not Switzerland, Austria.
Okay.
He was in Austria. And they were playing my album, like with and these other albums as well. And my brother looked at it, and there was a small picture of me in it, very, very tiny picture in it, very tiny. And he said, "Hey, that's my brother, you know, that's my brother." And the people themselves, he said, "Brother, could we invite him to come over here?" Oh. Yes. So I just put a band together and go over there, and they love it. And and it started, and that is where the Vision Sunsplash started in Vienna. I started it, you know, in somebody's backyard. And then it become big and massive. Yeah. So after I did that now, and I came back now, I said, yeah, wow, a band together, and go out and do the thing, you know? Yeah. So we did University of London, and then I started to put shows on myself. I started to say, well, I must go out and put shows on myself. I get some posters, put African Head Charge up on it, and and whatever. In those days, we saw advertised by posters and walls all over, not like now. So I was doing that. I did a show in a place one day, and it was a flop, completely flop. I spent a lot of money and time to do it, right? And it was a flop. Oh. And I was getting problem from problem from all the musicians. And one of them came to my house. They take away my DVD that I had in there. You know, they were just all kind of thing. It was a disaster. Oh no! But before I left, there's a guy came to me. Remember this name? His name is Vince Powell. Vince Powell. Okay. All right. Remember that name, right? Yes, sir. Vince Powell and said, Bonjo, I like what you're trying to do. Here's my card. Come and see me at the Mean Fiddler. That time he was running the Mean Fiddler, and his office was there. There's a club called Mean Fiddler as well. And then he had another club called the Powerhouse. He had the Dome, he had the Judge Roby, and all these clubs. I don't think he owned them, but he was more or less running them or whatever he was doing with them, right? Okay. So come and see him. So when I went and see him, I talked with him. He said, listen, one day you can play here, you know? And then he showed me the Powerhouse. And when I went to see the Powerhouse in Islington, it's a very small venue. I don't think it holds more than about 250 people. Oh, wow, okay. Like a drinking place, really. Yeah. But have a small stage there. So I decided to put myself on there with some musician every month. Oh, wow. Right? Okay. And by doing that, I mean, it's a small venue, so obviously, as soon as 200 people come in there, 250 people, it ram out. People can't even come in or wherever. Wow. And the music was really tough. It is tough what we are playing. It was. People say when they come there, it's like they go into a trance or some. They get some spiritual experience. That's what people were telling me.
Oh, wow.
Right? And one woman saw the show and she loved it, and she came to me and said, I like what you're doing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people at Glastonbury. I'm friendly with the man who owns Glastonbury.
Oh, wow.
She is a friend of the man who owns run Glastonbury, Mr. Ivar or something like that was his name.
Okay.
So she got me a gig there to play on the main stage.
Whoa. The
biggest stage in Glastonbury. She put me on it.
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
The pyramid stage. We still have it in video now. Sometime 94, 90, I think it was 91 or 92 or something like that.
Oh.
We still have it. Right now, if you search for it, African Head Child, the first Glastonbury show, you see it. I'm playing in Glastonbury in front of millions of millions. I can't know the numbers, but there's a lot of people, right?
Huge show.
Yes, and we are headlining. I mean, I'm mixing up with top people. When I came off, the person who come on after me was what's her name? Something other than the Machine, Florence and the Machine.
Florence and the Machine.
Wow. Yes, she came after me. And it goes up to a lot of top people. All right. Now, before I went and did that show, right? Mm-hmm. They was only paying me £1,000. But £1,000 in that time is not a lot of money. But I decided I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm going to do it because I just want to go and prove myself to people.
Yeah,
many people. That was the whole point. And to prove myself. I didn't know I'm going to prove myself in front of so many people. So there was this guy in EC1. I was passing. I saw this guy sitting down in a small space. You can't get 6 people sitting in that space.
Oh, wow.
And I said, what are you doing here, man? He said, listen, I'm trying to set up a music agent, an agency for music. Oh. That's what the man tell me. And I said, listen, I'm a band, you know. And furthermore, guess what? I have a gig at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
at that day. And could you do the paperwork for me? Could you take over the paperwork? Yes, I was only getting £1,000. So, and I said, take over paper and I'll give you 10%. And he did it. So that's why even today, I remember him saying, he's not there no more, but he said 001 African Head Child Glastonbury. That was his first band.
Wow.
Before he bring in the Chemical Brothers, he bring in the Orb after. I was before all these people. I was before the Orb. I was before all these people.
Oh my!
I was the first one and his agent. So after that now, he started getting me shows in universities all over England.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The guy just started setting up show all over England. I mean, I don't know, they are students. The money's not great.
Right.
But if I end up getting £50 for a night in those days, I was okay.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yes, you know what I mean? So I was enjoying, I did all the universities you can think of in London or England then, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the name start to think, and I start to feel, yeah, man, I'll keep doing it, you know?
Yeah.
But obviously you get fights because, you know, we're working with a new sound and there's other artists there, you know what I mean, who it's like, I feel as if I'm jumping ahead of them. It's not something I did deliberately. All I'm doing is going out and doing what I'm doing and enjoy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy. It was a lot of fighting. When I say fighting, it's like a lot of people didn't like it that African Head Child was getting good vibes from people. The Melody Maker, the New Musical Express, the Black Echo, all the papers was writing African Head Child, where.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. and it pissed them off.
Oh,
because as far as they're concerned, I'm just a Congo player. I shouldn't, you know, I'm a Congo player. I'm playing on all these people's record. You know, they are the artists. I'm just playing on the record. Big Sherman, Gary Clare, Mark Stewart, All of them, they are new sound artists. I'm just a session man and their thing. But at the same time, yes, I'm a session person. But at the same time, I'm doing my thing as well.
Yeah.
Which, you understand what I'm saying, and so forth. But it pisses off a lot of people. Pisses them off.
Oh, man.
I've actually heard people say, oh, fucking hell, it pisses me off. All they're talking about is African head charge. I'm laying in a place that people don't know that I'm there. And I hear people coming in. Open and oh fucking hell, that's all about. So it was easy. So a lot of time I'm thinking about sabotage.
Oh,
when a new sound, I used to actually put shows on myself, because although I didn't really school much, as I said, I left school at 11. But I know that you get a venue, get some posters, put some names on, go to the melody maker. Go to the New Musical Press, put an advert in, pay money to put in, and nice, maybe 3, 4, 5 inches,
Yeah.
And then put posters all over the place, give out leaflets, and see what happens. I said, that's what I was doing,
Yeah.
I didn't sit back. I didn't have any manager or nothing like that. I didn't just sit back and say, waiting for somebody to do anything. I was,
Yeah, you took control.
I remember. Yes, I was doing it. The first New Sound show that was put on, I put it on. A lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
In a club called the Vox in Brixton.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yes. 3 floors, and all 3 floors, I organized everything. Because I think, because the thing about it with life, or I believe in life, some people have a lot of education. Mm-hmm. They can do this, they can do that, they can do that. But there's a song called Rasta Man Show One Stone. Mm-hmm. If you get one gift, which is, we call it one stone, then you have to use it. Some people get 4. Some people are doctors, lawyers, they can read plenty, they have a lot of this, the mechanic, they have a lot of multi-talent, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But for me, the only thing that I think of, all right, I'm not a bad cook, because at the time when I used to cook and sell food, that's awesome, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I never learned anything. So the drumming and the thing was, so I had to really make an effort into doing it,
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up going to Australia. Because the guy that owned the Vox, when I put the big show on with Mark Stewart, Gary Clear, Adrian, Dub Syndicate, everybody that was on the New Sound, Little Honey, Alan Peele, everybody,
Little Honey. I love Little Honey.
Yeah, I used to love her too, right? Yeah. And then the show was success. And the man said to me, well, you done well. So when I go to Australia, I'm going to live in Australia. I'll bring you to Australia. That's what the man told me.
Wow.
And he did it. That's how I ended up going to Australia as well, and New Zealand.
Wow.
And so sometimes the way I look at life, one good things lead to another good thing.
Exactly.
And it was going on like that, All right, sometimes I have to put my foot down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that is a part of it.
Well, that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about listening to, because I went back and tried to listen to as much of your older music as I had time for. And that and the new album, they're just so positive. I just get good, positive energy when I listen to them. And it's wonderful to listen to. It just puts me in such a great mood.
Well, the new album is that way. Should I go there?
Yeah, we can definitely go there.
The new album, let me see, after I was divorced from my wife and everything, because sometimes music puts a strain, especially when you're struggling. It puts a strain on everything.
Oh yeah.
You have to be up all night in Berry Street. Sometimes you don't have time with your children.
Making very little money.
It's like I made some really big sacrifice. I didn't spend as much time with my children that I should have done.
Yeah.
Because I was just pushing a lot of my energy into being a good drummer and whatever. Yes, I have a good relationship with them now.
Yeah. Oh, good.
But what I'm saying is that I lost out a lot on that. Okay. About 94, I went to Ghana, and I love the place. I love Ghana. So I ended up getting married there, and I ended up having children there.
Oh, wow.
And in fact, I have 2 grandsons there now, too.
Oh,
that's how much further.
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So while I was there, I was learning because I am like that. And once I hear anywhere I hear music, I'm going there. We saw about some spiritual church in Ghana too.
Okay.
Where even the locals doesn't want to go there because they say it's juju, it's obia, and they're bad people. You understand?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But me, I go in there. I put on, and sometimes I still like to dress well. All the time. If I'm going to that church, I know I dress well.
Yeah.
I go in there nicely. And I fear. That's me. I'm fearless,
I can tell.
Yeah. And so I would go inside there, man, and I take in the vibes, the dancing, the performance that they were performing and everything. And my friends, they won't come in. They would stay outside, go to the bar for drink until when it's finished, and they don't come inside.
Oh,
I'm talking about in Africa, in Ghana. They won't come in. I'm going in there because, as I said, I don't care if the person is a juju man or juju woman or juju whatever. I have no fear of these things. I hear the drumming, I see the dancing, I hear and I love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what bring me in there. And they seem to have a liking for me as well. And they bless me as well because I'm a kind person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I contribute to poor people as well and so forth and so forth.
So, but there was about 12 years that you didn't put any music out. Were you still playing music?
Well, all right. You asked a question about 12 years. Because of the way I am, if something is not right, I can't keep it.
Okay.
I won't sleep. If I'm with you, you're a friend, like my woman or anybody, and I have a problem, I have to tell you how I feel.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes with the hierarchy then, it was controlling the music business and the management and the this and that and that. If you look at me, who am I to talk? And I'm saying, listen, if somebody step on my feet, I have to make noise. You step on my feet. Rasta. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let somebody stepping on my feet and robbing me and cheating and this and I don't talk.
Right.
So that is my big problem. I have that problem. But the name Bingi for me, it means justice.
Okay.
Justice. I'm not talking about you're black or you're white. I'm talking about justice. Mm-hmm. Human being. We're a human being. Right. It doesn't matter if you're high education or you're low education or whatever. You're a human being. So don't think because you're clever than somebody else, you take advantage of them. So with A New Sound, I was always the fireman. I was always the man who said, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up?" Which everybody would be sitting down quietly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember going to places and I feel lonely because I speak out. I know even my friends doesn't want to come close to me.
Oh.
I feel lonely because I speak. So I've been through all kind of. So because of that, sometimes and sometimes I wonder, should I lower my performance to suit people? It comes to me. And I said, no, I'm not going to. Anywhere I go, even if I'm not getting the pay for it, I'm going to do my best. Yeah. Because that's my nature. I'm going to play my drums to my best. I'm going to chant to my best. I'm going to do my best. Because I enjoy it when I'm doing my best. I really enjoy it.
Those are stones. Do them. Those are stones, right?
Yes, man. I enjoy it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm always trying to lift the band and everybody up to a certain level. Everybody have to come there. Yeah. So, all right. When I went to Ghana, 94, I started listening to their drumming as well. And some of the Poco mania drumming is a good thing that when I was in Jamaica, I went to the Poco church because the Poco drumming is 100% African, West Africa. Okay. Almost, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I went there, I was able to play with some of the groups them. Oh, wow. I was able to play because as long as they show me what to play, I'll play it. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they show me, say, you play this stuff. If it's two sticks, they give me to play and they say, play kung 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 kung. If they give me to play, I'll play that for an hour if I have to. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's a discipline. A lot of people don't have that this, and I've learned that discipline from Jamaica. I learned that discipline too, working with some of Fela Kuti. You know Fela Kuti? Yes. Yes, because I've been with those people too. When I was learning, I've been in his presence, and his him give me the name Bonjo. The name Bonjo was given to me by a fella Ransom Kuti.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yes. There's so much I can tell you. Because as I said, when I was learning, I'm still saying I'm learning because I never stop. I go for auditions. And there's this fella Kuti and his band, the Funkies. There's another band that's called the Funkies with Sonny Akpan. They came to London. And one of their Congo players didn't make it because of visa problem or whatever problem they had, right? Mm-hmm. So they start to audition for Congo player. And I thought, I ring them up and they told me where the rehearsal is. I went there with my drums and I just start anything Sonny Akpan tell me to play. As I said, you tell me something and it goes into my head and within seconds I'll repeat it.
Right.
It's just one of those things that's just inside me, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if it's a rhythm. Some of the leads, if they're playing the lead, then it will take me time to learn that one.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's a language, makes sense. The lead. But when it comes to the rhythmic part of it, you show it to me and that's it. So the band, I was the only person who's not born in Africa who was in the band.
Oh,
everybody else was in the band.
Wow.
So, and in those days, we have this ganja called Red Beard. I used to love this Red Beard ganja, right? I was a ganja baby. As I said before, I was a ganja baby, right? Mm-hmm. And I used to go down to where Fela Kuti was. He was in, I forgot the name of the place, but he was staying in Ginger Baker house. There's this great drummer called Ginger Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Ginger Baker.
Yeah, his son is amazing too, Kofi.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
Ginger Baker had a big house in this place, big mansion. So one of the drummer, Chike, took me there.
Oh wow!
You know, they're friends with the musicians. You know, they were friends.
Yeah.
So I'm a friend with the Funkies. So I went with them, Sonny and all that.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there and then I used to bring ganja with me everywhere I go.
Okay.
So yeah. I gave them some ganja to give it to Fela. Mm-hmm. And they gave Fela the ganja. I didn't meet him that time, right? All right. And then I went back another time. And in those days, I didn't really talk a lot. You know, my drums was what I would sit and play drums. I won't talk.
Right.
So
okay.
I just started playing drums. And when I'm playing drums, and some other drummer come and they sit beside me and we all start to play. And within an hour, it's like, and Fela came down and Fela saw me and he said, Bonjo. You know what I mean? Yeah. And from that day, everybody called me Bonjo. And Chike and Idem and Sonny Akpan, they all moved into my area. So and I'm moving with them. So because of that, I'm with them. So everybody started to call me Bonjo.
Oh,
so that's how I got that name through them. But you see, I learned discipline through that. You know, like you have a lot of Congo players. They're great players, you know, but they're disciplined. I'm talking about maintaining the pulse. Because without the pulse, without the heartbeat, you are dead. No matter what you're doing, you must have the pulse. You must have the pulse, right?
Yeah.
So that has always been my motto. The first thing I set is the pulse and to maintain that. So that's why they like me, because of that.
That's incredible. That's amazing. I had no idea that's how you got your name. I love that story. Oh, so
that is true.
So you got the new album, A Trip to Bolgatanga, and
oh yeah,
you've got some.
The Trip to Bolgatanga.
You've got some great people.
Yeah,
like, you've worked with some amazing people in the past, but a lot of them have come back to play on this album, like Skip McDonald. I love Little Axe, and Doug Wimbish. A huge Doug Wimbish fan. So seeing some of the players on there is amazing.
Well, let me tell you something. Doug Wimbish is just great.
Yes.
And that's the only word I can do is great. Skip is just great.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for me, all right, we have Jimi Hendrix and we have these great guitarists, but I put Skip right there.
Yes.
I put Skip. I can't know, but you cannot put Skip with anybody with Jimi Hendrix, right? but every other body else, Skip is there.
He is incredible. I love Little Axe.
Skip is great.
Yeah.
The thing is, sometimes you can be great, and but you're in a situation where it's people who is not great like you are, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like they'll pull you and pull you and pull you until you you become docile, or you become nice guy, or you become something, you know. Skip is great, but if you still need to have that lion roar in you, that fire.
Yes.
That if something if something is wrong, you say fire. You bring that out. So that is the only difference with Skip. Skip is a great guitarist I've ever played with.
Oh yeah, I can believe that.
But the thing is, as I said, they said Skip is like, no matter what happened. And I've said before, if somebody step on my foot, I'm going to say, ah!
Right.
I'm not going to keep quiet. You step on my foot. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the only problem with Skip. And the thing is, if I see people taking, smoking, drinking, or taking anything that I'm not into, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing anything to please anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna become a drunkard to please somebody who is a drunkard.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm not gonna be the only thing I love is my ganja.
Yes, there you go, man.
and if I'm tired, I'm not taking any pill to speed me up. No, I drink some black coffee with a touch of brandy in it.
Oh.
And once I take that, it lifts up for about hour and a half, 2 hours. It wakes you up. You understand what I'm saying? I'm
going to try that.
So, yeah, man. If you're tired, if I'm tired, like sometimes I'm tired, they call me to come on stage and I'm yawning. Oh, I'm tired, right? I just drink some black coffee with a spoon. There's just a small touch of brandy in it.
Yeah.
Don't have to be a lot. And then half an hour before I do the show, then I can perform like, you understand?
Yes.
And then after a while, no, I'll be tired. But for me to take any drugs, I'm not into coke, I'm not into crack, I'm not into any of these things. Well, so sometimes people might see me or Bim Sherman that we are boring. It's not that, yeah, we are boring. Oh, you're boring. Nah. No. I'm not. If I've got to join you in all these things to make you help my career or help me to achieve more, then I don't want it. I'd rather work hard. I'd rather to work harder.
Yes.
I'd rather to make work harder. Yes. Okay.
Exactly. So I've been listening to A Trip to Bolgatanga a lot recently, and it makes me happy. It's a great album to set your day to, like A Bad Attitude. You know, that starts off the whole album, and it starts everything off in the right mindset. To me, it's a great. If you're gonna listen to a song to start every day with, that would be the song.
Yeah, man. A bad attitude is like a flat tire. You can't go anywhere until you change it.
And I love King Isoba's Kalogo. That is beautiful. I love stuff like that. That is amazing. Did you reach out to him specifically for that, or were you guys working together before recording that?
Yes, I did some work with him. King Isoba have a thing called the Buttercup Festival.
Okay.
Buttercup is like Kente. The Ashantis of the cloth is called Kente.
Okay.
But the people from Bolgatanga, their cloth is called Buttercup. So every year he did that. And then he invited me to come and perform in it. And I perform in it and he likes me and whatever. Right?
Okay.
But what happened was, how I met King Isoba, I decided to go to Bolgatanga one day. I met some friend who was a Bolgatangian, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, listen, I want to take you to Bolgatanga. I want to take you up there. So I went to them there, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I was coming back now, my time was up, I was coming back, and there was a show with King Isoba playing somewhere, and I decided to stay another day or two just to go and see him, because I thought he was a guy called Atongo. You know, there's another great Kalogo player called Atongo. Okay. Right? I thought it was him. I thought it was Atongo.
Oh.
Changed his name. I thought it was Atongo, changed his name to King Isoba.
Oh,
and I haven't seen Atongo for about 15 years or more. Because when I first went to Ghana, I used to go to Labadi Beach, and Atongo was busking there. Busking, it was like a busker.
Okay,
like he used to play. And he's the greatest Kologo player in the whole world.
Oh, really?
Atongo. Only that he didn't have any hit songs. So, all right, so it is.
Okay.
And I remember I used to sit with him and I used to, rap with him and chant with him, and I used to show him how to do the raga beat, the dancehall kind of beat with the Kologo thing and thing. And that time I used to help him out as well, financially and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw King Isoba performing somewhere, and I heard that he made this big hit, I Want to See You, My Father. I Want to See You, My Father was a big hit all over Ghana. Even my sons was singing it to me, right?
Right.
And so I thought it was Atongo. So I decided to go and see him. I decided to go and see my friend. So when I went there, I was telling his guard, Baba. Baba was one of his security. I said, Baba, I'd like to meet this guy. I met him some years ago, and I like to see him now. And then Baba took me to King Isoba. I went and see him. He sit down. He's a real king, He sits with lots of people around him.
Oh,
and
wow.
Lots of wives and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought it was Atongo.
Right.
And he was fat. Atongo wasn't as big as him. So I thought, and then I started to talk to him. And I realized that after a while, I realized that I'm talking to the wrong person.
Oh.
I'm trying to remind him of what we used to do at Labadi Beach,
Yeah.
Then I realized that I'm talking. But anyway, we become friends and so forth and so forth,
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then I decided I was always doing some recording while I was in Ghana anyway,
Okay.
I always go and do some recording. A lot of recording I've done there. It's not come out yet.
Oh, okay.
I've done a lot. Mm-hmm. So I was doing the album and I told Adrian what I was doing.
Yeah.
I said, Adrian, I'm doing something for a new album. I'm getting all these drumming together and all these chanting together and all these vibes together and all of them. And I told him that I went to Bolgatanga and I met King Isoba. I even let him say hello to King Isoba. In fact, King Isoba was surprised that I know Adrian.
Wow.
Because I think one time Adrian did mix a show for King Isoba somewhere for some place or something, BBC or something like that. So Adrian said to me, if you can get King Isoba to collaborate with you on something, I think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
So I got King Isoba in. I paid him and all these musicians. I paid him like session fees or whatever.
Yeah.
He asked me. I told him what I can give him, and he told me what he wanted. So we come to an agreement, and we did it. Mm-hmm.
Well,
so that's how it was with King Isoba.
I think that's a great song to start the album with. I love Passing Clouds. That might be one of my favorites on the album. It's very hypnotic and trippy. That's a fantastic song. I love how positive the whole album is. I mean, you've got songs like A Bad Attitude, I'm a Winner, Never Regret a Day. I mean, it sounds like an album that wants to give people good advice. Like maybe it's trying to teach a positive lesson. And I think that's one of the things I love about listening to this is it keeps me positive. So is that the approach that you took to the album, or is that just the way you are? I did take that approach. The reason why, because I was there and the lockdown came. So I had to spend a lot of time. I also learned the Kologo to play that guitar, that local guitar. Okay.
So within the lockdown, I decided, yes, I have to do something. And so I decided, well, I was doing it before. But I'm talking about something specifically for African Head Charge. Yes?
Yeah.
So I did it, brought it over here, and then me and Adrian listened to it, and then we decided to put Skip on it, and Doug and other people and whatever, and to make it what it is now.
Okay, so I have a question about that. A lot of what I've heard from African Head Charge that you've released in the past has a very global world sound to it, but A Trip to Bolgatanga sounds maybe a little more localized, like a little more focused on the African music. Is that something that you did on purpose? Is that why it's called A Trip to Bolgatanga?
Yes, I done that on purpose,
okay.
And I'll be doing more of that. That's the plan for the future.
Oh, great.
Not just for Ghana, not just for, you have different tribes, who have different way of expressing, Right. And I really want to go and spend the rest of my life. It's like learning a new language.
Wow.
Just go and learn different things. And also work with other people and things, whether it's Zimbabwe, whether it's Gambia, whether it's there,
Liberia,
so
maybe?
This is the biggest,
Liberia. I've got a lot of friends from Liberia, so that's...
Yes. Liberia, anyway, I just want to go there. I don't know if that's where I'm going to go and do the next album, start the next album, but I just want to go somewhere, you have to pay people for what you want anyway, the studio, rehearse. I like to rehearse with people, spend time with them. Not just say, come, let's go to the studio. No, I don't do that. I like to spend weeks or even months with some people and,
you got to connect.
And get certified.
You got to connect with them.
Yes, and then so as I said, my next album, I don't know which part of Africa. Well, it could be Ghana. You have the Ga. A lot of the drumming and this album is from the Ga as well.
Oh, okay.
The Ga. Ga is a different tribe. I like the drummer that I'm working with in my band now. He's from Ga. He's a Ga drummer.
Okay.
And those drummers are very exciting.
Oh yeah.
Then you have the Ashanti drumming, which is more royal, cool dancing. There's not much. But But the Aga one is more aggressive.
Okay.
But the Ashanti one is more graceful. And then you have the Hewe one. Different tribes, and they have their own different style of expressing.
That makes sense.
I just want to go and learn. I want to learn as much as I can, and then see what we can do. That is what the future plan is.
Oh, good. And is there a lot of live playing in the future for you? Are you planning to play out a lot?
Well, we did Glastonbury last Saturday, and the people love it.
Yes.
We're doing something in Budapest, Hungary, wow. Yes, the festival there.
Oh, wow.
Zore Festival. And then we're doing 2 shows in Japan as well.
Oh, wow. That's quite...
and I think that the people are talking about different things, like, I would love to go back to Australia again too. And I think I've been to America, but we never really did much there. So we don't know what's in the pipeline. We just want to see what.
Oh, I would love to see if you come to America, to the Washington D.C. area. I would be there.
I'll tell you something. I would love to come to America because I love to come and tour America because I believe what we are doing, the American people would love it. I just believe that.
I think so. I do have a question about how you're playing, your live playing. So when you do play a live show, is there much improvisation going on, or are you trying to stick to what's recorded and make it similar to what's recorded, or are the musicians free to improvise?
Okay. Now what we do, we have to play what the people know and what they love and what whatever. Yeah. But we do take it somewhere to a different place. Okay. Yes, everything we do, we take it somewhere else.
I love
we don't just keep it there. We take it in the different places. That's how we are. That's how African Head Charge is.
So you stretch it out and experiment.
Yes, we stretch it out and do a lot of things, and a lot of dubbing, a lot of drumming, a lot of chanting, and so many things happening at different times, because, me, I'm a kind of person, I get bored easily. Yes, especially when it comes to music, it has to be up there.
Yes.
You can't drop down. You have to be up.
Yeah.
And that's how it is with me, And people who's working with me understand that's how it is.
Oh,
so that's it. I have to be entertained. Me personally, I have to enjoy it.
Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yes, I have to enjoy it.
So what is the best way for people to find African Head Chargers music and get the new album, A Trip to Bolgatanga?
Well, this Saturday is when it's been released. The 7th is this Saturday. Okay. I'm even going to a place. I'm going to a place to do some signing of the albums and, fans. There's some fans coming at a place and so forth and so forth.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but so when it comes to the technical part, like certain things, the distribution and the this and that, it's Warp that does everything.
Okay.
The Warp is the people who deal with it,
Right.
And Haley is the management, So they are the one that those kind of that question you asked me is them that can more or less give you the real answers. You know what I mean? All I know is that it's going to be released on the 7th of this month.
Okay, July 7th is when it comes out. So it'll be on Spotify. It'll be on Bandcamp, I'm sure, to purchase, and wherever anybody gets music, I'm sure they can find it.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you do much in the way of social media? Do you want people to look at? Do you have an Instagram account?
I'm not really a social media person, but Ailey, my manager, she's the one that does all that kind of thing. The only thing I can say about that, every Wednesday, starting 2 Wednesdays ago now, we have a thing called Wise Wednesdays.
Okay. And what is Wise Wednesday? I don't know if you've seen it.
Wise Wednesday is when I give some motivative speech. It's not long. It's Ailey. It was Ailey's idea. So listen, you've always because I'm a person who writes all the time. I'm always writing.
Yeah.
If I'm always things come to my head, and if I'm a small boy, I would write and things like that.
Yeah.
And things. So for the idea, I write it down, and then Ailey decide to every Wednesday. African Head Charge, we do a motivated thing. So you look out for it every Wednesday.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It comes to us somewhere motivated.
So
where are you now? Where are you calling from?
I live in Winchester, Virginia. So I am about 90 minutes due west of Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So I'm very close to Washington, D.C.
I'm tell you something, right?
Yes.
I would really like to come and do a tour in America. As I said before, I know for sure that they would like what I'm doing. I'm 100% sure.
I agree. There are so many people here who would love to see what you're doing. I completely agree with you. I don't know what we got to do to get you over here, but maybe we get some wheels in motion and get an African Head Charge tour over here in the U.S.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would be
so great.